to Jody Kingston. She is on the pastoral staff at Vineyard Church North Phoenix, and she does a lot of work with the Vineyard Kids ministry here.
And have been in this position for 27 years. The job is to oversee them and make sure that they are able to do their jobs and handle anything in a more of a managerial position. We take advantage of communication tools with phones in the classrooms, and we carry phones with us and do a lot of texting and things like that. Notify the coordinator so that the coordinator can then notify others, and it trickles down, because one person just can't do those things. Communication, again, is clear, and no one is really operating on their own.
Yeah. Volunteer appreciation.
Yes, of catch and being good. And so my job is to train my staff to do that to their volunteer. Words of affirmation, big time. So it's either right then and there on the spot. I teach my team to be in the hallways at all times, because a lot of being appreciated is just having somebody there for you, so that you don't have to feel like you're alone and checking in on you and how are you doing and all those sort of things. So a lot of it is verbal, on the spot, on the weekends, but then also emails and asking how your family is, how's everything going, showing that personal interest and really valuing people. So there's no monetary cost in all of that, but it does take time, and I think sometimes it's even more appreciated.
Better when it's time versus monetary.
Yes, exactly.
One of the things in my books that they talked about was a call to action. And so a lot of times a call to action in like a church family is that you feel driven by the Lord to do something. So when you had a call to action for Vineyard Kids, what was going on in your mind with that?
When it was my turn, first of all, it fed something in me personally, because I had always wanted to be a teacher. I was just so fascinated by all these things I had not known all of my life, and I fell so deeply in love with Jesus that I just wanted every child that I came in contact with to have that and not grow up like I did without that knowledge. So that was my call to action. I didn't think at the time that's what it was. I just knew that I wanted to be a part of this, and I wanted to be volunteering, and I wanted to be in there more and more and more.
So a lot of times we get volunteers because other volunteers say, hey, this is awesome, I love doing this, how about you try? What other ways, or you can just expand upon that, do volunteers feel motivated, do you think, to come and help with Vineyard Kids?
Really the word of mouth. If I ask personally, or one of the coordinators asks personally, inviting somebody to get involved, or as you said, a volunteer talks to a family member or a friend and invites them, that's hands down the #1 best way to recruit. Best success, best chances of them sticking with it, the whole shebang. And everything from, you know, a blurb in the bulletin, to special events, to emails, to phone calls, to invites to our orientation, passing out applications face-to-face, asking people to join.
How do you keep people motivated while you're making a bigger change?
But the biggest part is making sure there is plenty of time to cast vision first, and give people time to adapt to what is the change, why is it necessary, how is it going to affect them personally, and then showing them the benefits and the fruit of it. And if you don't take everybody full circle, it's really difficult to make that change and have it, not only the change stick, but the people that's affected stick with it and get behind it. There was a lot of conversations that needed to take beforehand. First, I had to talk to the pastoral staff, and how is this going to affect everybody else in the church, because it doesn't just affect children's ministry, it affects everybody. And hash through all those arguments, if you will, that were going to come up, and make sure that the value of the change was worth, for lack of a better way to say it, the fight, you know, to make the change. Everything they do is volunteer run. It's you have to be able to lead, because people don't have to follow.
Because there's no extrinsic motivation. It's
exactly.
all gotta be
Exactly.
I get a high five for that. That was an awesome